Hey everyone, today we're going to be checking out the Troubadour Neo Backpack. And Troubadour has been quite busy this year with the release of the Matrix Backpack and the Apex Travel Bag. I thought both of those were really great options, and so I was excited to see another new addition to the company's lineup. This time a 22-liter day pack that seemed to offer a very well-rounded feature set, and in this video I'm going to be talking about what it's been like to use it over the past couple of weeks. I'll show you how I've loaded it out, walk through all the features, and I'll also talk about how it compares to some of the other similar bags that are currently on the market. Before jumping into the video, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Starting off with the overall aesthetic, like other Troubadour bags, this has a pretty minimal and techy vibe. I like that it feels a little more subdued and rugged than some of their other offerings, which have always had a more kind of stylish and professional appearance. I still think that this is something that will work well for taking into an office setting, but it's also just going to be great for exploring a city and traveling. As far as the materials, this feels very solidly built. The exterior is made out of recycled plastic water bottles, and it feels like it's going to offer a nice amount of durability and weather resistance. Beyond that, all of the components throughout the rest of the bag feel premium, solid. You have some really nice zipper pulls, some accenting at different parts of the bag, and then of course some very smooth working YKK zippers. Continuing along the outside of the bag, I was happy to see that you have two external water bottle pockets. These are going to offer a nice amount of elasticity and space. I like the material that's used here. It doesn't feel like it's going to tear or anything like that. And then this was able to handle my 26-ounce Yeti Rambler. There's a little bit of a tighter fit, but you can see that it expands outwardly, and I do have the main compartment pretty packed out, so great to see that that does fit. Anything smaller than that will also continue to fit, and then because of the elasticity, these pockets hug the bag when they're not in use to maintain a cleaner profile. Continuing along the exterior, you have the subtle Troubadour logo here at the bottom, and then at the top, you have a really nice carrying handle. This is something Troubadour always does a great job on. This is gonna offer a nice amount of padding. I like that it's a little bit larger, very easy to grab, so great implementation there. And the last thing I'll mention while we're talking about the exterior is that this does manage to stand up pretty consistently on its own, so I've been able to place it down next to me and access the compartments. Moving into the capacity, this comes in at about 22 liters, which is a really great daily bag size in my opinion. I was able to hold all the items that I normally like to carry with me, and it never felt like the bag was overly bulky, even when it was a little bit more packed out. I like the more streamlined silhouette that this offers, and it's going to be great for navigating crowded areas, jumping onto public transit, and carrying onto a variety of domestic and international airlines and using it as a personal item. Continuing with the harness system, so far the bag has been really comfortable to wear. I like how the straps have been implemented here. They have a nice amount of padding that feels a little bit more robust than the padding that's been included on some of the other bags that Troubadour has released recently, and so great to see them continue to improve. This has felt really nice. You have a nice soft material on the inside. The width on the straps also feels good for its size. I like the contoured shape, and then you have an adjustable sternum strap with a little buckle here. This is kind of small, so you really have to make sure to place it properly, but it gets the job done. And then for the straps, you do have a little bit of strap management included. I like this system better as well compared to some of other Troubadour's bags that used to have kind of a metallic buckle, and so really nice implementation there. And then on the back, you also have a nice amount of padding, similar style to what was on the shoulder straps, and it's well distributed all throughout. I do wish that there was some more air channels here to give you some extra ventilation, but in general, this has felt comfortable as I've been wearing it around throughout the day. On the back, you also have the Troubadour logo and a luggage pass-through that's going to allow you to rest this on your suitcase while traveling to save some weight on your back. And I like the spacing and the orientation that's been provided here to allow you to stand this up and access your laptop while the bag is on your suitcase. Jumping into the organizational options, you have a couple of quick access pockets on the front. First up at the top, you have a zippered pocket that's going to offer a well-protected zipper, so that's great to see here. And this is going to provide a nice amount of capacity for something like sunglasses. I can just kind of drop them in here, or something else that's a little bit larger. And then on the back, you have some internal organization, some nice slip pockets that'll be able to hold something like a charging cable for a tablet or a phone. I have another one here that I didn't end up using because I have items on the other side, and with the sunglasses case, it all started to feel a little bit tight, but this will be great for something like a smaller mouse, portable battery, hard drive, and then next to that, you have a small slot that's going to be a good spot for a pen or a stylus. And on the front of the compartment, you have a zippered pocket that It's going to offer kind of a nice soft material on the inside, so a great spot for sunglasses or anything more delicate if you want to store it there. At the moment, I'm using it for my AirPods as well as my Magic Mouse. On the front of the bag, you have another quick access pocket, which I've seen called out in a lot of the marketing for the bag because it has this magnetic closure here. It makes it a very quick access pocket, so you can just reach in, grab something quickly, and then the magnet secures it. And so this does offer a nice amount of capacity. I was able to use it to store my alpaca admin pouch. You can see that that's a little bit thicker, and so you could also, toss in some sunglasses in there. On the inside, you have a little lanyard with a carabiner for your keys. Now, I'm not crazy about this system, mainly because if you happen to get caught in some rain, this feels like the type of thing that's gonna collect water, and items that are on the inside could potentially be at risk. Now, I think that this is intended for the types of things that wouldn't be potentially damaged by water, but this magnetic closure, it just doesn't feel like it's really gonna keep anything in this compartment protected from water, which means it might also seep into other areas of the bag. There's also not a lot of drainage, so I could see this just being something that would require more care and maintenance, which I would have preferred to just have another zippered pocket here. I like the pocket, not so much the magnetic aspect of it. I actually got a question on another video recently asking why I would use an X-Pack pouch if it's something that's gonna be inside of the bag. I hadn't really thought about it, but this is actually a great use case where the pouch itself is a little bit more weather resistant, so I feel more comfortable storing it there if I need to. But again, just wish that this maybe would have been a zipper instead of a magnet. On the back of the bag, you have a dedicated laptop compartment with a rain flap that comes over the zipper to give you some added protection. These zippers aren't aqua guarded, which I would have liked to have seen. They are pretty smooth and easy to open even with the rain flap. And then on the inside, you have a nice amount of capacity, to store maybe an additional document, a folder, and a padded laptop compartment. And I really love the implementation on this sleeve. It's gonna offer a nice amount of padding. It feels pretty rigid. It's also properly suspended off the bottom of the ground, so you can drop your laptop in. It's not gonna make contact. You can store a 15 or 16-inch laptop in here. Currently, I have my 14-inch MacBook Pro. You can see there's plenty of leftover space here. And so pulling my device out, now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. It does come up a decent amount, and again, with the amount of padding that's offered here and the fact that it's suspended off the bottom, it definitely feels like my device is gonna be well protected while I'm running around. The last area that we're gonna be taking a look at is the main compartment. This is a top-loading bag, but I like that the zippers go down enough to allow you to still access everything that you need to in the compartment. And with 22 liters of capacity, this was able to handle my typical modular layout pretty comfortably. And so diving into the items that I currently have here at the top, I have my Beats Studio wireless headphones, an AirTech pouch. I also have the Civic Access pouch 1 liter, the half liter, and then at the bottom, I have the Civic Access pouch 2 liters. So you can hold quite a bit of stuff there. Even something bulkier like that Civic Access pouch was able to fit in there without any issues. And then with this layout, you could also potentially use this for minimal travel. If you wanted to toss in a packing cube, a toiletry bag, and an extra pair of shoes, I could definitely use this for a longer weekend trip. And then on the inside, you do have some built-in organization. On the back, you have a couple of nice slip pockets that are a little taller, so they'll be great for larger battery banks, charging cables, and I like the material that's used here. And behind those, you have an additional zippered pocket that also offers a nice amount of capacity, and it's gonna go down a decent amount here, but I like that it helps keep some things near the top of the bag that I might wanna access without digging into a pouch. So at the moment, I'm using this to store my USB-C hub and cables, which is what I use to charge all of my devices while I'm traveling and running around. And so nice amount of capacity here. And then on the lid, you have an additional zippered mesh pocket. I like the material that's used here. It offers a nice amount of elasticity. It feels really high quality. And so, I didn't place anything in here at the moment because this does start to kind of get tight if you're using the quick access pocket at the top. As I was doing with some bulkier items, you just kind of have to think through the types of items that you want to store in each area. But I really like the options that have been provided. Each of them on their own feels effective to use, and so it's great that you have a couple of different choices so you can organize in the way that's going to be best for you. And so I really like the layout and the amount of space offered in this main area and just how everything was laid out in the rest of the bag. They really checked off so many of the boxes that I'm normally looking for with the water bottle pockets, the suspended laptop sleeve. I wasn't crazy about the magnetic opening on the front compartment, but it is nice to have a quick access area, and some other good organization built in throughout the rest of the bag. And so if you're looking for something that's going to be stylish, durable, and that's going to work well in a lot of different situations, this is going to be a great option to take a look at. And so to wrap up, you can currently purchase this on the company's site for about $180, which I was a little bit surprised by, as many of the bags that I've used from Troubadour in the past have come in at over $200 and sometimes over $300. And so great to see them offering a bag that's this solidly built with this type of feature set at under $200. And so it's still gonna be an investment, definitely not cheap, but it does feel like it's gonna offer a lot of value for the price and is also gonna compare well against some of the other similar bags in this price range. And so as I was testing this out, the first bag this made me think of is the reworked Toshi pack, which also offers a really incredible feature set. It's got a clamshell style opening, very minimal aesthetic, solid materials. You still have the dual external water bottle pockets, great luggage pass-through, one of the most comfortable harness systems that I've tested out, a dedicated, well-padded laptop compartment, and just a really solid organizational layout. I really love the quick access pockets that have been included throughout the bag. And so if you're looking for something that's gonna offer a very great layout and that's also gonna come in at a pretty similar price point than this, and that's gonna be an excellent option to consider. The next bag this made me think of is the Air City Pack 2, which is a really great slimmer tech and everyday carry option. Very solidly built with ballistic nylon exterior, YKK zippers. It's got a super comfortable harness system, luggage pass-through, external water bottle pocket. It's got more of a top-loading layout. You have a padded and suspended laptop sleeve, nice organizational options for all of your essentials. And so, just checks off a lot of the same boxes as this, and it's just gonna offer a little bit of a different layout, different aesthetic, but if you're looking for something that's a little bit more techy and very solid, then that's gonna be an excellent option to consider. And then the last option that I'll mention here is the Bellroy Transit Work Pack. That's available in a 20 and 26 liter size, and I've really enjoyed the simpler layout that bag offers. The more that I've come back to it, it's got a very modern, clean aesthetic, very solid materials, got a pretty comfortable harness system, a luggage pass-through, you have an external water bottle pocket, then you have a clamshell style opening that's going to allow you to hold an impressive amount of stuff regardless of the size that you go with, and quick access pocket, you have a dedicated laptop area that is suspended, padded, and so it doesn't go overboard as far as the options that it provides, but it is an effective layout. And so if you're looking for something minimal that's going to offer a similar style that's going to work well in a lot of different settings, and that's going to be a great option to keep in mind. With that being said, the Neo Backpack holds up very well against all those options, and although I'm not crazy about the front compartment with the magnetic opening, in general, it really feels like Troubadour took things to the next level with the features that they've added in this bag. Really checks off so many of the boxes for what I normally like to see, and has quickly become probably my favorite bag in their lineup, and one of the bags that I've enjoyed using the most this year. So if you're looking for something that's gonna be durable, it's gonna offer a nice layout, this is gonna be a great option to take a look at. And I'm definitely curious to hear what you all think of the Neo Backpack and how it compares to some of the other popular tech and EDC bags that are currently on the market. And if there's any similar options that you think that I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I want to thank Troubadour for sending the bag for me to test out, and to you guys for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.